Hello everyone. Good evening. I'm Steve from UCAN EnglishTutoring.com, a pioneer institution that is offering coaching on IELTS, PT, and OET examinations since 2008. I have helped more than 12,000 students to achieve their desired scores in these three different formats of examinations, and I have been receiving rave reviews on my Google and Facebook pages. I have got 5-star rating on my Google page. In today's video, I'm going to assess one of my students' letters. Let me go through this one. She has written on the date on the top, that is 20 June 2019, which is good. And then she has written down Mrs. Leon, Miss Leon, the community nurse, Axford Community Health Center, Axford. That's all good. But the way she has written on F isn't that good because it sounds like TORD, isn't it? So in Oxford, okay, it sounds like T. So please write F clearly in your letter. So the F sounds like T. So she needs to clearly write it down. Let's go through the next one. Dear MS Lane. So this M sounds like a small letter. So that's not good. So dear MS Lane, comma. So it must be, M must be in capital letter. Okay. All right. And then regarding Mr. Alvine George, aged 69. Okay. So this MR again, this one sounds like a small m. George Alvin. So again, M must be in capital letter. You need to clearly state it. There is a difference between capital M and small m. So the way the reader is going to understand is that you have written on a small m only. So this is not good. I'm writing to refer Mr. George, who has been recovering from a surgery of removal of benign tumor left calf muscle. Okay. All right. Who has been recovering from? That's okay. But again, like F from doesn't look good. It looks like T. Trum. That's what I feel. So you have to write it down from. F must be clearly written down. F needs to be clearly written. Okay. Recovering from a surgery of. Okay. Surgery doesn't need any article. So a surgery is incorrect. Remove a, please. Thank you. Let's go to the next one. So surgery of removal of benign tumor left calf muscle. What she could have done is that who has been recovering from removal of benign tumor left calf muscle. So she could have removed this surgery, to be on this, to be more accurate. Although he is progressing well, he requires continued care and management. That's good. The second sentence looks good. There's no issue in the second sentence. Socially, Mr. George is a retired bookkeeper and lives separately from his wife. Okay, that's all right. That's correct. Separately, spelling is also correct. His son lives abroad, even though his ex-wife, who lives near, was very supportive. No, this is wrong. This is wrong. The whole sentence is wrong. I don't know what you are trying to convey. So his son lives abroad. That's okay. Put a full stop. And then it's not even though, you should have replaced it with the abroad, comma. Okay, even though, comma, is okay. In this case, you should have mentioned his son lives abroad. However, comma, his, instead of here like this. Okay, and the other thing is, even though is not a single word, even though has two words. That's another mistake. Okay, I'm not only correcting, the mistake that you have committed as far as the grammar is concerned, but also the words. Okay, because even though has got two words. All right, his ex-wife. Try to use formal phrase instead of writing down ex-wife. You can use farmer wife. Farmer wife. Ensure that you use FO instead of FA, because farmer, FARMER, means the person who involves in agriculture. Okay, the person who owns lands and involves in agriculture anyway. So however, his ex-wife who lives near was very supportive. Okay, it's not near, who lives near, who lives nearby. Okay, so instead of saying near, it's better to write down who lives nearby. That's more appropriate. All right, let's go to the next one. In terms of Mr. George's medical background, he has had no previous medical history until the pre-operative medical evaluation. He doesn't have any, he has had no previous medical history until. Okay, so you don't need to place any comma here. It's not needed. History, comma, until doesn't make sense. Okay, so history, comma, until. Remove this comma, please. Let's go to the next one. During the checkup, he was founded to be. There is no word like founded. You can't use like he was founded. He was founded to be. Sorry. He was found to be. He was found to be. That's the correct answer. It's not he was founded to be. That's wrong. Okay. Hypertensive is all right. And elevated blood pressure. He was founded to be hypertensive and had elevated blood pressure, blood glucose level. Okay. Found to be, that's an adjective, that's good, but this one is wrong. What you could have done is you could have mentioned maybe found to be hypertensive with the elevated blood glucose levels and commenced on whatever the medicine. That's good. So what she could have mentioned, like, and the elevated blood pressure, blood glucose level, and the elevated, instead of that, and elevated, instead of that you should have mentioned with the elevated. Okay, elevated glucose level. All right, and whatever the medication. Okay, so 5 milligram daily and metformin 5 milligram 2 times respectively, and commenced on, and then this one 5 mg daily, and there must be and after 5 milligrams daily. Okay, after 5 milligram daily, comma, replace the comma, or you can add just simply and. You can either use add and after this comma. Okay, and before the next word. All right, 2 times respectively. That's good. Everything else is all good. Mr. George was admitted to hospital on 6 June during post-operative period. I think there's no hyphen in between, but it's going to be a hyphen. You have to mention post-operative period. Okay, so you have to use post and then hyphen and then operative, because post-operative has got only one word. It doesn't have two words. Okay, so that's wrong. His vital signs were. All right, let me go to the next page. His vital signs were stable. He was performed daily wound dressing and noticed wound infection for which amoxicillin, okay, 1 gram and whatever the things 3 times a week. Okay, so that's wrong. That's wrong because he was performed. A daily wound dressing was performed. Okay, daily. Okay, so in this case, what you could have done is that he was performed a daily wound dressing. He was performed daily wound dressing. The whole sentence needs to be written down again. Okay. So what you should have done is you should have started writing like this. Wound dressing was performed daily. And then you could have mentioned the next one. What's the next one? Was performed daily. Wound dressing was performed daily. And wound infection was treated. And noticed wound infection? No. So what you could have done is wound infection. A noticed wound infection. That's what they have mentioned, isn't it? And okay, just 1 moment. Noticed and wound infection. Okay, noticed. Okay, so what you could have done is, and wound infection was noticed. Okay, for which, and then whatever they have mentioned it is good. For which, amoxicillin, whatever it is, 3 times a week was prescribed. Okay, so you didn't mention this 3 times a week. That's all right. 3 times a week. So you should have added was prescribed 3 times a week. Okay, or was initiated or was commenced. Okay, so you should have done that. Physiotherapy along with occupational therapy were started and works with the support of a frame. Oh no, that's wrong. Okay, so what you could have done is subsequently you could have added this phrase. Add this phrase before physiotherapy and occupational therapy. Okay, that's good. Subsequently, physiotherapy and physiotherapy along with the occupational therapy were started. That's good. And walks with the support of a frame. Okay, and walks, and as a result, he was able to walk. That's it. This is what you have to replace. So you have to mention here, and as a result, he was able to walk. If it is in the present tense, then you can say he is able to walk with the support of a frame. Okay. In view of the above, could you please provide further care to Mr. George? Okay, there should be a question mark, but you didn't mention a question mark. Okay, so if it is was, okay, Mr. George, full stop. Replace the full stop with the question mark. Okay, it would also be beneficial. It would also be beneficial. Okay, it would also beneficial. No, be also beneficial. It would also be beneficial. Okay? It would also be beneficial to monitor his medication compliance, wound dressing, and activities of daily living by himself. Okay, that's right. He requires regular monitoring of blood pressure, monthly blood sugar level, and physiotherapy. Okay, that's good. Everything else is all right. If you have further questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. That's okay. Yours sincerely, that's right. You need to place a comma after that. So yours sincerely, sorry. Yours sincerely, place a comma here. So after sincerely, you need to place a comma. Okay, let me go through the assessment now. So we went through the word by word feedback. Now I'm going to give you the assessment factor against each of the one. Grammar is the main area of improvement. You have committed several grammatical mistakes which needs to be addressed. Okay. Use of punctuation marks is another area. Use of punctuation marks could have been better. All right, that's the next one, because you didn't place commas properly in many occasions. Okay, that's another issue. And then the sentences are incomplete. You have been committing mistakes in terms of the sentence. Okay, sentences are incomplete, so they need to be completed. Okay, all right, that's another issue. And use of connecting phrases could have been better. Spelling is another area of concern. And then connectivity could have been better. Vocabulary could have been improved with the use of more formal words. Could have used more formal words. Organization of ideas is good. Organization of ideas is good. I'm happy with the way that you have organized the case notes. They're all good to go. Layout of the letter is okay. You were able to give, blank lines in between the sections, and it's all good. Overall, task fulfillment is fine as well. I'm happy with this. Okay, so what are the other areas? You could have used, okay, more use of small letters and capital letters is not that good. Okay, so use of capital and small letters could have been better. Let me check whether you have included all the relevant case notes or not. I'm gonna have a look at the case notes that you have shared with me. All right, let's go through that. What's the writing task? Write a letter to the community nurse, Miss Lane, Axford Community Health Center, Axford, to make home visit for further care. All right, let me go through this one. Patient's name is all right. And then admission date is okay. Date of discharge is all right. Diagnosis is okay. Removal of benign tumor in the left calf muscle. So you didn't use in the first sentence. So that's not correct. So you didn't mention that. So that's not good. And then retired bookkeeper, divorced pensioner, ex-wife lives nearby, and helping, non-smoker, social drinker. That's okay. Never admitted to hospital, no known medical history, no previous admissions, pre-operative found to be hypertensive, and then high blood sugar levels, and then medications, lisinopril daily, metformin, that's okay. And then physiotherapy, OT reviewed, diabetic clinic every month. I think you didn't include diabetic clinic every month. That's not good. And post-operative visit, stable daily dressing, fever, chills, found infected, started on antibiotics, amoxicillin. Now healing, no pus, no fever, walking with a frame, that's all good. And then nursing care, showering, daily wound dressing, remain to take medication. Okay, all right. These case notes are very simple. Discharge plan is letter to your community nurse for care and medication compliance, dressing changes, encourage independence with the ADL. If needs or help, review at diabetic clinic every month. That's missing. So review at diabetic clinic every month is missing, which is not good. And then dietary advice is also missing. So she hasn't included a few case notes. few relevant case notes. That's not good. I'm not quite happy with the way she has included the relevant case notes because she didn't include a few case notes. All right, let me give you the feedback now. Okay, so some case notes, some relevant case notes were not included in your letter, which is not good. Okay, to me, this sounds like, okay, let's say, so you didn't include the relevant case notes, that's one issue, and there are many major mistakes as well in terms of the use of nouns and verbs and incomplete sentences, use of punctuation marks, connectivity could have been better. To me, this sounds like a 250 out of 500 graded letter. I wish you good luck with your next letter. I hope you should be able to improve your communication skills in writing section. If you would like to get your first letter assessed at free of cost, you can reach me on my email address, that is steve@ucanenglishtutoring.com. Otherwise, you can contact me on my WhatsApp number, that is +61 468 480 877. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. You can also reach me on my Facebook page, that is www.facebook.com/ucantutoring. Thank you for your time watching this video, and have a good day. Take care.